the Leilon-Munlui ambush, a flashpoint of tension in Manipur. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, Life. Today, we are reporting on a deeply unsettling series of events that unfolded in Manipur on the morning of Monday, the 15th of June, 2026. At approximately 6 a.m., as the day was just beginning, fresh violence shattered the peace in Kangpokpi district. The targeted site was Leilon-Munlui, a village nestled in the Lema-Khong area under the Kangchup-Geljang subdivision. Suspected militants opened fire and launched a severe bombing attack on the village, leaving 3 young local volunteers seriously injured. As we look closely at the details emerging from regional community authorities, this early morning ambush has not only caused physical casualties, but has also reignited massive communal anxieties across the state. In this broadcast, we will break down exactly what happened, look at the official press statements from the affected groups, and follow the worrying chaos that unfolded afterwards inside a major regional hospital. Let us look first at how the attack happened and the serious allegations being raised against local security setups. According to an official press statement released by the Leilon-Munlui Village Authority, the assault was launched from the direction of a Central Reserve Police Force (CRPF) bunker located in nearby Konsakhul village. This bunker sits less than 100 meters from the position where the village volunteers were stationed. The local authority has leveled heavy criticisms against the Central Security Forces deployed there, alleging that the militants operated with their tacit support. The village statement points out that both the advancement and subsequent withdrawal of the armed miscreants took place right past the CRPF side, without any intervention or retaliatory measures from the security personnel. In their official statement, the Leilon-Munlui Village Authority declared, "The local populace remains in a state of panic and feels entirely unsafe, despite the heavy deployment of central forces in the immediate vicinity." Outraged by what they call a direct threat to peace, the village leaders have formally appealed to both the state and central governments to take immediate corrective actions. They are demanding the urgent identification and arrest of the armed attackers. Furthermore, they have made a formal demand for the immediate relocation or removal of the CRPF station at Konsakhul, asserting that the post is being used by hostile elements as a strategic launching pad against neighboring Kuki villages. They warned that if this security post is not withdrawn, the central forces will be held solely responsible for any subsequent breakdown of law and order or further violence in the region. Following the attack, multiple apex community organizations came forward to condemn the violence and name the groups they believe are responsible. The Kuki Inpi Manipur, speaking from its secretariat in Lamka, strongly condemned the bombing, alleging that the attack was carried out by the Naga National Socialist Council of Nagaland. Isaac Muiva, NSCNIM faction and its proxy outfit, the Zeliangrong United Front Kamsun, ZUF Kamsun faction, KIM described attacks on civilian areas as unacceptable and inhuman, stating, "Justice must not be delayed. Peace cannot be restored without accountability." Simultaneously, the Kuki-Zo Council issued a press release providing critical details about the victims. The 3 injured youths have been identified as 15-year-old Genlan-Mang Waifei, 20-year-old Lunliandu Waifei, and 18-year-old Paugulal Chongloi. The council highlighted that Paugulal Chongloi is a highly promising Indian footballer who has represented the well-known Mohun Bagan Football Club. The Kuki-Zo Council expressed deep anguish, describing the incident as part of a continuing pattern of targeted violence, claiming that since March 11th, 2026, at least 14 Kuki-Zo people, including 3 pastors, have been killed in attacks linked to these factions, alongside the burning of more than 6 villages. Because of this, the council reiterated its political demand for a separate administration. Adding to this, the Waifei People's Council General Headquarters also released a strong condemnation. The VPC strongly condemned the coordinated armed attack on Leilon and Leilon-Munlui Waifei village. They noted that sophisticated weapons and bombs were deployed in residential areas, endangering women, children, and the elderly. Like the village authority, the Waifei People's Council held the Central Security Forces deployed at Konzakhul accountable for continued negligence, stating that their apparent inaction and posture of ignorance have left communities entirely exposed and vulnerable. The wave of protest from civil society groups continued to grow over the next 24 hours. The Kuki Chiefs Association of Tengnupal district issued a statement describing the incident as heinous and inhumane, extending their deepest condolences to victims of recent regional violence and calling on security agencies to conduct an immediate, impartial investigation. Meanwhile, the Lemakong Area Chiefs Organization, LACO, expressed grave concerns regarding reports that the attackers freely entered and exited through the area between Leilon-Munlui and Konzakhul. LACO raised serious questions about a video circulating on social media, which reportedly showed women from Konsa village preventing an Indian army column from entering the area, while insisting that only the CRPF be allowed movement. LACO urged governments to replace the concerned CRPF unit with a security force that can command genuine public confidence. Furthermore, the Kuki Students' Organization, Sada Hills, expressed deep anguish, strongly condemning that they termed a cowardly attack on the village that left 3 innocent youths critically injured. At the same time, the Kuki Civic Action Committee, or KCAC, addressed a different, highly volatile aspect of the wider regional tension. In their press release, they rejected allegations made by certain Naga groups and political leaders trying to link local suspension of operations, or SOO groups, to separate violent incidents, such as the recent tragic killing of 6 Naga hostages. Kuki Civic Action Committee stated that since the matter is under active investigation by the National Investigation Agency, unverified public accusations are nothing but dangerous propaganda aimed at misleading the public and inflaming communal tensions. While civil organizations were issuing these statements, a highly dangerous situation was developing on the ground in Imphal. Following the ambush, the 3 injured Kuki youths needed urgent, specialized medical attention. The army evacuated them and brought them directly to the Regional Institute of Medical Sciences, commonly known as RIMS Hospital, in Imphal. However, as news of their arrival spread, a large and angry mob consisting of Maitais and Nagas quickly assembled inside the RIMS Hospital premises. The crowd began demonstrating, protesting heavily, and shouting slogans demanding that the hospital must not treat the Kuki youths. As displayed in social media reports from the time, hundreds, if not thousands of protesters were mobilizing online and outside the facility, creating an incredibly hostile environment. Local citizens and human rights advocates online reminded the public that access to healthcare is an absolute fundamental right under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution, and that RIMS is a national premier institute meant for all communities. The crowd demonstration inside the hospital premises grew so large and volatile that security forces were forced to intervene to protect the patients and staff. The security forces had to resort to a lathi charge to disperse the gathering. RIMS Hospital later issued an official clarification. RIMS clarified that they had no role in transporting the patients who were referred by the 183 military hospital at Leilon-Munlui, and emphasized that attending to the sick and injured is a professional, ethical, and humanitarian duty of healthcare workers. They strongly condemned the subsequent firing of mock bombs and smoke bombs within the hospital premises during the public protest, appealing to everyone not to disrupt critical, life-saving healthcare services. To understand the sheer complexity of this crisis, we must also look at the statements issued by Naga-aligned organizations regarding the broader instability. The Leilon-Munlui United Front, ZUF, issued a detailed press statement holding the NSCNIM and the United Naga Council, UNC, heavily responsible for the ongoing turmoil in Manipur. Leilon-Munlui United Front claimed that a warlike atmosphere has been deliberately created, involving Kuki and Naga militants operating behind village volunteers, leading to continuous clashes and a tragic loss of innocent lives. ZUF sharply accused the United Naga Council of pursuing preconceived political objectives under the undue influence of the NSCNIM, without adequately considering public safety or the genuine concerns of the Naga people. Crucially, Leilon-Munlui United Front pointed out that public anger among the Nagas has reached a boiling point. They referred to the devastating deaths of 6 Leilon-Munlui individuals, alleging that their bodies were returned to their families bearing signs of severe torture and brutal killing. ZUF argued that timely intervention by regional councils could have prevented this cycle of retaliatory actions, noting that the current unrest unhappily revives painful historical memories of the severe Naga-Kuki clashes of the past. What these collective press notes reveal is a deeply fractured environment where local villages feel unprotected. Promising young lives and athletes are caught in the crossfire, and even the sacred ground of a hospital becomes a theatre for ethnic friction. But amidst the sharp language of condemnations and political demands, there is an underlying, desperate need for structural accountability and a lasting political solution. Healthcare, civilian safety, and human dignity must transcend ethnic divides if the region is to heal. We conclude today's report with an earnest appeal for peace, restraint, and communal harmony. It is our collective hope that all sides can reject the path of violence, so that a blood-soaked Manipur can find justice, protect its youth, and transform once again into a vibrant, peaceful state where every community can live without fear. Thank you for watching. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Stay respectful in the discussion and subscribe for further objective updates on this developing situation. Goodbye.